Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. It is Sunday, and that means it is time to prepare for this coming week. We're going to do our Sunday technical analysis video where we go over 5 stocks that I am watching for potential breakouts. Last week, we had some nice calls on PayPal and Starbucks, 2 flag patterns that broke out beautifully, continuation on Apple and continuation on Amazon. Number 5 was Tesla, a little bit weak last week for Tesla, but overall, Tesla every single week is a big watch because you never know when that thing can start moving. So this week, let's see if we can pick 5 more great stocks that we can look forward to, find some breakouts on, find some opportunities, and try to profit off of it. If you didn't already know, I live stream every single day from 8 a.m. to around 8:45 a.m. where we will continue this analysis on a daily basis into the week. So make sure to come check that out. Press that like button, press that subscribe button. Thank you guys so much for the continued growth on this channel. And make sure to press that bell notification so you know every single time that I post and every single time that I go live. So guys, as you know, these videos are a little bit long. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. Going over to the screen, you guys will see PayPal on your daily chart. Now, I know we went over PayPal last week, but this setup still looks great, and I think we need to carry this into this week as well. Last week, in the Sunday technical analysis video, we called out this flag pattern that was forming on PayPal. A beautiful breakout, a beautiful continuation here on PayPal. And if this tech sector continues to move higher, I think PayPal is definitely destined to hit these all-time highs around $309 a share. The breakout is strong. The retest of this 287 resistance, turning it into support, is strong as well. And I want to see if this flag pattern can continue. So let's make sure to watch PayPal next week. I love this little flag breakout. I love the hold of the 20-day. If we break this down into some shorter term time frames, let's say the 10-day, 30-minute, you guys can see this breakout a little bit cleaner. So here was the flag pattern that we saw. Here was a nice break of the flag, a retest of the flag, holding this as support, and then a continuation move higher. It looks like 300 may be a little bit of a psychological resistance, but if we can clear that next week with some tech strength, I think we are set up for a new high. So let's go to the hourly chart, and this is actually a little bit more cleaner for you. Here is the hourly chart on PayPal. So here was the flag. Here was the previous support turning into resistance, or previous resistance turning into support here at 287. And when you guys can see, you see we broke out of the flag, we pulled back to that flag, held that previous downtrend as support, and turned it into a nice move higher. Looks like we closed right near the highs on Friday, and I think PayPal can definitely continue into next week after this flag breakout. So this is the number one watch. Some really nice trades on it last week. I know some of you guys in the chat caught this one as well. So congratulations. Let's continue to watch PayPal. Let's see if we can get up to those all-time highs next week. Now with PayPal, I also want to watch Square. Now Square is not one of my main watches into next week. I just wanted to throw this in the video because these two are somewhat correlated at times. And you can see that Square is a little bit lagging of PayPal right now. But Square did pull back to the 20-day. The 20-day is crossing above both the 100 and the 50-day moving average, meaning that in the short term, there is bullish momentum. And I actually really like this little bounce that we are seeing. A nice wick and a nice green day on Friday for Square. If PayPal continues, Square could see some sympathy. So Square is another one that I would definitely be watching to see if PayPal gets towards those all-time highs. See if Square can play some sympathy because Square is still pretty far off its all-time highs and could play catch-up next week. So just a quick look at Square, not one of the 5 that I'm watching, but something I will definitely keep on the side to see if this moves with PayPal. So guys, number 2 is Boeing. Now Boeing is one that you guys ask a lot about, and I think it's because it is setting up in a really nice uptrend, and it started to look a little bit scary before that news came out. I think it was on Thursday or Friday of last week. Now, it is funny how this news comes out at such a critical time because Boeing was about to fall under this long-term uptrend. If we go to the weekly chart, you can see on this weekly chart, we were holding this uptrend since that crash back in March, right? So every single time we hit the trend on the weekly, we found a very nice support bounce. And if you look at this weekly candle right here, look at this strong doji candle, very bullish, pushing up to the upside. So this news came out and it helped Boeing hold this trend line. If we go back to the daily chart, you can see this very well right here. So it does look like Boeing was able to reclaim this uptrend. On Friday, we were able to bounce off of that uptrend. And now at this point, I have to keep an eye on Boeing to see if this wants to continue back up to this 257, 260 level resistance. The last time we came near that level right here in early June and late May, and then again back in March, early April, we found some really hard resistance. So does Boeing bounce again off this trend line and move back up to 260? That is what I want to watch. Support here, support here. I want to see, can this support hold again? Can we continue to hold this uptrend? Can this news catalyst from last week continue to push us higher? If the Dow is strong, if we get some strength into the Dow stocks, Boeing should be one that benefits. And right now, I would say that Boeing is at a very nice place for a potential buy because of the pullback we've gotten, because of the trend line support. Let's see, can Boeing hold this trend line and push back up to 260 next week? I am going to keep an eye on this. This would be a little bit of a longer term trade. It's not going to happen in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. It might take a few weeks to get there. If you're a big swing trader, this could be a very nice swing trade right here on Boeing back up to this 260, where at that point I'd be a little bit cautious. Take the gas off a little bit. Make sure you're starting to take some profits because we could find resistance here once again and cause another triple top here on Boeing. Very potential, but you have upside. You have this margin. Let's see if Boeing can bounce off this trend line from both the weekly chart as well as the daily chart here on Boeing. So number 3 is going to be SNOW, SNOW. SNOW had a very big breakout on Friday. After getting over this little range consolidation, you can see SNOW has been sort of pulling back for a pretty long time, almost 6 months to 7 months at this point. SNOW has continued to go down. Now, after this most recent dip here to 184, we have started to make a little bit of an uptrend. We are starting to make higher lows and higher highs. This is important. This is some type of a bottom confirmation, some type of a bullish confirmation here on SNOW. As you can see, we are now making higher lows and higher highs. And just on Friday, we had a very big breakout out of this little resistance at 255. You can see we were not able to break that 255. If I zoom into this just a little bit closer, you will see how we were able to break out right here over 255. And after that breakout, a very nice move on SNOW. Now, this idea on SNOW is just a continuation of a breakout. Sometimes when you see a stock break out of an important level like we saw on SNOW, you will start to see that momentum start to flood in. So whether or not SNOW moves next week, it still is something that we have to watch and keep an eye out for. If SNOW gives us a pullback, maybe a little bit of a break and retest, that would be fantastic. If we get that pullback, turn 255 into support where it was previous resistance, get that bounce here, then try to play this on the retest. That would be beautiful. A nice break and retest pattern here on the daily chart. Now, on the flip side, we could also just see more continuation, more momentum flood into this after this very big breakout of consolidation that was occurring for almost a month and a half. So let's keep an eye on SNOW. I know a lot of you guys were watching this. Some people in the chat were calling this out. So let's see if SNOW can continue. Now, if we go to the 4-hour, I'll try to see if I can see any type of previous resistance levels. And the first one that I do see is right around here. So we have these previous lows, we have these previous highs right around here at 274, 275. You guys can see that right here on the 4-hour. I'm going to mark that down, make sure I am watching that into next week, watching that 275. I'm going to turn it red so that I know that this is going to be resistance, turn it a little bit transparent. And now we know next week when we start to move into that 275, we know that there is previous resistance on the 4-hour right back here, right? So we have some previous levels of support turning into resistance. And now I want to see, does that 275 turn into resistance once again next week? Nonetheless, a big breakout. Either we're going to get a breakout and a pullback, a little break and retest, or we're just going to continue back into this 275. Either way, SNOW breaking out, something that I'm definitely watching into next week, and I wanted to share with you guys in today's video. So number 4 here is TWLO, TWLO. Now, the technicals look great for this stock, and I want to show you why. So the first thing, we have this downtrend that has broken. We have a downtrend right here. We broke that downtrend. This was a little bit of a channel. So if I draw this channel right here, you guys can see that we were sort of in a downward trending channel. Every single time we hit the bottom of that channel, we found some really nice support. And every single time we hit the top of that channel, we found some really hard resistance. But this time we were able to break above that channel and we were able to pull back to the 20-day right here on the daily chart and start to move higher. Next week, I am looking for TWLO to break out of this little pivot high right here. So if I go to the 4 hour, I want to show you this. If we go to the 4 hour, I am looking for Twilio to hold this level of support, hold this downtrend as support, and break out of this little flag pattern that has formed. So right here, you can see a little bit of a flag pattern is forming. I'm looking to see if Twilio can break out of this flag right here and continue higher next week. So let's see. I like the downtrend breakout. Very nice. It is getting out of this channel that has formed over the last 6 months. We were able to move above it. We pulled back, found some nice support, created a little bit of a flag pattern here on the 4 hour. You can see it right here. If we can break out of this flag pattern that we are forming, pushing higher through this resistance, I want to see if Twilio can break that. And then the big test will be these previous highs, which are right around $403 a share. So can we push higher? Can we break that flag? Can we break above 403? If we do, if we go to the daily chart, this thing should have some room, because not only is there resistance here at 403, this is also a very big double top. So if I draw this here, I'll go ahead and put this line right here, about 402, 403. I'll delete this to make this a little bit more cleaner. And we are just going to look at the triple top that is here on Twilio. So you guys can see triple top, 1, 2, and 3. If we can flag right here, make a little bit of a flag, break out of that flag, push above 401, 402, 403. This a little bit of a range. It's not an exact dollar amount, but if we can break out of this, move higher, I would love to see if Twilio can push back to those highs. So very strong technical pattern here. Break of a downtrend, creating a flag pattern. Let's see if we test that triple top next week and see if we can catch some of this continuation. All right, guys, the last one in today's video is going to be SPCE. I'm sure a lot of you probably watched the launch today. It was a successful launch. They were able to take off, go to space, come back, land safely. Now, I don't know for sure if this is going to be a sell the news event. Are we going to pull back on this successful flight, or are we going to spike higher? Nonetheless, this is a must-watch next week. If we get a spike, it's going to be in the pre-market tomorrow morning. You're not going to be able to trade options on it, but let's see how this thing opens. The one thing that I will look at, number one, is this downtrend that has formed. So you can see we have a little bit of a downtrend making lower highs every single time. And we also have a rock-solid resistance up here around 57. So in the pre-market, do we break this downtrend? Do we break this 57 resistance? If we do, does space get some crazy movement off of that successful launch today? I'm going to watch it. The technicals aren't fantastic. It's a lot of up and down, a lot of big hype stuff coming out. Every single time we get a move higher, it's also some type of hype. So it's a tradable stock. It's something we can watch. If you catch it right, you can make a good amount of money. Technicals aren't fantastic, but I like the downtrend. Let's see if that breaks. I like the 57 resistance. I can tell that there is resistance there. If that breaks, then we know we have some upside. So as you guys may know, if you do not, SPCE, one to watch because of the test flight today, which is Sunday. It was successful. Let's see if this thing moves up Monday morning, see if there's continuation, and see if we can take a trade off of it. So guys, to cap off today's video, as I said in my last, I was going to go ahead and do my June P&L. So let's go ahead and dive into this. Here's Interactive Brokers, here's the report section, and here's where I can go ahead and get a realized summary of my previous months, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys today. So if I go to realized summary, I can go ahead and press run. For this video, we're going to go to a custom date range. We're going to go from June 1st, and we're going to run that through the end of the week, which is July 2nd. So here is June 1st to July 2nd. This is basically all of the weeks in June all together, and you guys will see my performance. So if we go to realized performance summary, realized and unrealized performance summary, we can scroll down and we can see that I made a modest $2,200 in that month. So a good return. Nothing crazy, not making me millions, but I am happy that it was a profitable month. The start of July is where that number really started to move quite a bit. So if we scroll back up and change the dates, I'll show you when I started to make those big returns in the beginning of July, and I'll show you how this really started to move up quite a bit for the P&L. So $2,200, that was my profit between June 1st, right here, June 1st and July 2nd. If we go back to reports, go to statements, I'm going to go ahead and show you the first few days of July. So right here, realized summary, we'll go custom date range, we'll go July 1st until July. Let's go ahead and exclude Thursday. Thursday was the big day, and I'll show you how that changed. So, I'm not lying to you guys. I'll show it to you in this video. Let's go to the 7th. So June 1st to July 7th. So before it was $2,200 until the 2nd. Now if we go here and we scroll down, now we're at $8,400. So you guys know I made about $600 between the 2nd of July and the 7th of July, because before it was June 1st to July 2nd, it was $2,200. Now we're adding to the 7th of July, and now we are at $88. Now the big day was Thursday, and I'll show you that, I'm not making that $10,000 video because it's some type of lie. I'll go to statements, and I will take it through that Thursday, which was the big day that I had. So custom date range, June 1st to July 8th, where that big day came in. And I will show you how this P&L went from $8,000 up to $22,716. So some really big gains here in the beginning of July, really padding the P&L. But if you just take it from June 1st to the end of that week, which was July 2nd, it was $2,200. And then you can see from July 2nd until the Thursday of last week, we went up to $22,000. So a very big start to July, helping me out, helping me pad this account a little bit. Really nice profits. Definitely want to focus on not giving them back at this point, because do I really want to get greedy? Just right now in July itself, a really nice profit for me, one of my bigger months. So let's see what happens. Let's focus on the risk management. Let's not lose these profits. But there you go, guys, just being transparent. Here are the profits for me in June and the first half of July. I guess not really half, the first week of July. So there it is, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. So that's really going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed that technical analysis, the 5 stocks that I'm watching. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this tech rotation continues. Is it going to be tech? Is it going to be Dow? We know what we have to watch, whether it is tech or Dow. If it's the Dow, it's your Boeings, your Caterpillars, your banks. If it's tech, it's the high-flying stocks like Amazon, PayPal, and let's see if Tesla can wake up next week as well. If you want to get updated on this analysis every single day during the week, come hang out in the live streams. Recommend the stock you want me to look at. You can do that at any time. I have a schedule set, but at the end of the live streams, I let you guys recommend tickers, and I will go ahead and go over them for you. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for the growth that we have seen on the channel. Press that bell notification so you know every single time that I post. And lastly, if you want to join the Discord chat where I trade live every single day, there's going to be a link down below. With that said, have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.